Hi everybody, it is Mary Jo from Mary Jo's Creations. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, it's so nice to have you. I hope you like it here and I hope you stay and we can get creative together. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. Y'all are so nice for coming and watching my videos and watching the mess that is me, but it is so nice to have y'all around. And today is April 25th, if I'm not mistaken. It is Saturday. Now, if you saw the video that I put up, for you, it will be yesterday. For me, hasn't gone out yet. Sometimes this shit is so confusing, I'm telling you. I get so confused sometimes. It doesn't help that I have ADHD, right? But anyway, yesterday I worked on the cardigan. And last night, where I left off in the video is where I left off. I have not picked it up yet. I was gonna work on it a little bit last night, but I decided not to because I started project number 2. Okay, we started putting together project number 2. Now I laid them all out, and I did make a video last night. However, I apparently had no storage, so I didn't get the video. I was recording the whole time, and then right before I finished recording, it shut off, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I met the storage or whatever, capacity. I don't know. All I know is that it turned off, and I was like, okay. So I got ready, and I put everything away, and I went to sleep. All right, got ready for sleep, went to sleep. Woke up this morning, and I knew I couldn't film. So I knew I had to get rid of footage. So I decided to edit the video. And while I was editing the video, I continued what I was doing last night. Now, what I did last night is I sewed all the panels, or not all of them. I got 3 done. 3 like this. Because in total, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 panels. So I was able to do 3 of these last night, and I sewed them up. And the reason why I did that is because, the squares are different sizes. There's 3 more stitches on the flower square than there is on this square. And because of that, I couldn't do the join as you go method. So what we did was we just did panels of these. Now, I seamed up all the panels while I was editing my video. And I got them all seamed up. And I tried to figure out how to put it together. While it was loading, because that shit took forever to load the video today. I don't know why. Normally it's kind of quick on my phone, but today it took a while. So I couldn't use my phone to film until the video uploaded, and I was able to delete the footage so that I had space in order to film. If you follow that, you're awesome. So while I was waiting for that, I started to figure out how to connect the entire thing, right? And at first I was going to do the same thing here. But then I realized that since both of the panels are put together like this, and each one has a regular square and a flower square on it, they would be the same size. So I decided to do the join as you go. And that's what I did. Now, I did 2 panels, right? And I was weaving in the ends before I attached another panel. And I did two that way, the two that are up. And I did this one. And I was like, no. I can't keep getting up and, getting one and then weaving in all the ends, then connecting it, then having to stop and get another one and weaving all the ends. I wasn't going to do that. So what I did was I decided that I was going to weave in all the ends, which I did, but I didn't film any of it because when I was ready to start filming, my battery was about to die. So I had to put the phone on the charger. And I don't think you wanted to see me weave in all those ends anyway. It was driving me nuts. I can't. I don't know how people do those squares that I did for the cardigan. That just, no, I never want to do that again. That's way too many ends. It's a waste of yarn, in my opinion. No, I'm going to tie on, and you'll see how I'm going to do it. I had never done one like that before, right? I always used to tie on the yarn. And, my friend had asked me if I had ever done a regular one, a one like the way everybody else does. And I said, no. And she was like, well, can you do it? And I'm like, yes. But I kind of didn't want to. But I guess she wanted to see if I could do it. Even though my way is better and a little harder. But anyway, I was like, okay. So I did it that way. I'm never doing that again. Never, ever doing that again. If I change colors, if I do granny squares like that, I'm tying it on the way I was doing it before. I'm not weaving in all those ends ever again. I don't know how y'all do it. If y'all do it that way, God bless you, because not me. Never again. But anyway, I was going to start filming and I couldn't. So I wove in all the ends while I was waiting for my phone to charge. And I finally got them finished. The phone was finally fully charged. Kind of at the same time, which was kind of cool. And now we are going to finish putting it together. And we should be able to put the whole thing together before the end of the night. I don't think it's going to take that long. I already started it. It's been a minute since I did Join As You Go. I think the last time I did it was my blanket. My last blanket, which is, I think, I don't know which one it is. It is on my bed. I think it's the smaller one that's like, kind of like a lap blanket or a child-sized blanket. And, I didn't do it on my other sweater. But anyway, I needed, because this is really kind of like a blanket, right? The way it's being put together. So I wanted to just do, the first few panels to make sure I remembered how to do it properly. And we just got to get the positioning right. Okay. Because it's like, one is, the flowers, they alternate from side to side. And I just want to make sure that I was, able to do it right before I started filming it. If I remembered how to do it, without having to look it up or anything like that. But I got it. I did not it took me a second to remember, Because, I have to start at the top. It's just like doing a blanket. And that's what I did. So I was happy with the way the first two panels came out. And like I said, I made sure I wove in all of my ends before I continued connecting them. And that's what we are going to do now. We are going to connect the rest of the panels. And I'll let you know panel by panel, because I hope y'all like these long videos. I like the long videos because I like to show you, step by step kind of, as much as I can of me working on the project, right? And if you have any questions or anything like that, you can always leave them in the comment section. But I like to, chat with you and crochet so you see me doing it, because I like watching people crochet. I like having people on while I crochet and they're crocheting, and that makes me feel good. I watch a lot of crocheters and content creators, and some do crochet all the time, some don't. They show you what they make and they talk about yarn and stuff, and I like that too. But for me personally, I like it when someone is crocheting and talking. And I like to crochet and talk to you. And I hope you like that too. So, today the objective is to get this panel done. And once, like, the whole entire thing put together, once I do that, I can figure out exactly what I want to do with it, right? Because I still, until it's all together, I am not exactly sure what I want to do. And I know that might sound crazy to some of you, but that's just how my brain works. If you've watched me, you know, things change maybe like 2-3 times before I get to the final outcome, right? So all I know is that I know it's going to be pretty. And I forgot what I was saying. It's been a little bit of a rough day, guys. It is raining. And if y'all have been here, I have widespread fibromyalgia. So the rain is not really my friend. Although it's more like when it rained, before it rains, that really is the problem. That's when, like, the real pain, especially in my feet. But once it starts raining, the pain in my feet goes away. But the nerve pain does not want to go away. But anyway, I'm a little bit slow today. I don't know if it was weaving in all the ends and, the weather and everything. I did have to go outside for a little bit, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't really raining then, but now it's like gloomy, and it doesn't help that it's 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, again, I've been working, on this all morning, just I wasn't able to film any of it, so I'm sorry. But I am pretty confident that we are going to be able to get all of this attached. And once we have it all attached, we can figure out exactly how we want to finish it up. And on the cardigan, all I need to do is the border. And then, what I like to call like the trim, which is the single crochet. Like on most projects that are like this or like cardigans, when I put stuff together like this, there's usually like 3 steps to finishing it off for me. There's what I call the outline, and that's when I go around the project with granny stitch for about at minimum 2 rounds. And then is the border, where I normally do 3 to 4 rows of or rounds of half double crochets. And then I'll do the trim, which is a round of single crochet around it. Now neither one of these are getting hoods, so that's going to be pretty quick. Because if you've been here, and if you didn't see it, you should go see it. On my green moss jacket, and I am calling it a jacket because that thing is warm as can be. I wore it out today while it was raining. I mean, it was drizzling, so it wasn't a heavy rain, but it was so warm. I was not cold at all. The hood was awesome. I did not get wet. And I love that thing. Now, I did put a hood on that, but I'm not putting a hood on either one of these. Number one, because I don't want these with hoods. I rather have these like just to put on. At least these two. If I decide, when I remake them, if I decide to, or if I remake them and I decide to put a hood on it, then I'll put a hood on that one. But these are going to be just regular cardigan and whatever this is going to turn out to be. And so, what was I saying? Yeah, it's not going to take that long to finish because there's no hood. So that takes an extra couple hours to do the hood. And then takes longer to do the border and the trim because of the added, hood. So this is going to be just a little bit faster. Now, the cardigan is almost done. All it needs are the sleeves and the border and the trim. Sorry. I just want to get to this corner. So the border and the trim. And I don't think those are going to take too long. But I really just wanted to put all these squares together. And we are going to leave, for now, the blanket just the way it is. Because it'll take longer to connect all those squares and then to do the border around it. Now, I'm shooting for the blanket to be done by the end of the week. Next week, right? Because it's the end of the month. I would like all these projects to be finished before the end of the month. And I believe I talked about it in the last video. I have 3 baskets that were left over from the beginning of this month. And there's something else. From this month, there is the shawl, although the shawl, I haven't even worked on it on camera because I've only been working on that since when I go to doctor's appointments. But it is going to be getting, big enough where it might be a little too much to take. I don't know. But anyway, once these two projects are done and all I'm working on is the blanket, I'm going to have to take, a little bit of time every day away from the blanket because it's just going to start getting heavy. I'm going to need something in the middle to break it up when I'm putting the blanket together. Something lighter, something that's a little bit easier, and something that isn't going to be so freaking ginormous. That's why we're going to hit the baskets first. I do have a doctor's appointment on Tuesday, and I believe I have one on Thursday. I'm so tired of doctor's appointments. But anyway, we're going to have to deal with that. So, the shawl is going to come with me when I go to those. When I'm done, hopefully, with all the baskets, which, they shouldn't take me very long because they're like, I don't know what, 35% done, maybe a little more. So when I sit down, like, for one time to work on it, I should be able to get it done, if not almost entirely done. And if I can get these two done by tonight, and I'm working on the blanket tomorrow, I start working on the blanket tomorrow, then I can do one basket at a time during a day. One a day, right? Work on one basket and the blanket every day until all the baskets are done. There's only 3, and they're not getting strapped. They're not getting a strap like a handle like the Easter ones. They're getting actual handles like the baskets, right? So that's going to be a lot easier. And once we're done with those, which hopefully will be by Tuesday or Wednesday, then we do have the shawl that we can continue working on. And we also have, I think, 2 projects that were carried over from last year that we can definitely work on, which is the tank top that was out of the Karen All Day Cotton, which I want to get done because, oh, crap. Because now would be a nice time to get it done because I can wear it. And the wind spinner, which I want to get it done just because I want to finish it and get it up. I just would like to have it up. But that was hurting my hands. That was hurting my hands. But anyway, we're going to figure out what else we can work on. But the major things that I want to have done by the end of next week, Friday, is the cardigan, this special project, the blanket, and the baskets, and the shawl, which I think is doable because, like I said, I have to go get the other panel. Oh, all right. Remember how we've said before when, Mary Jo is attaching things, she can't be, yapping? Well, all this I did, and I forgot to attach this. So, we're going to rip it all back. And I'm going to stop talking. Wow, okay. All right. I feel like such an ass. I feel like such a jackass because I did all of that and I had to rip it all out. So this is what I'm going to do, guys. I need to grab another panel anyway, but I do need to take a minute because I'm feeling my legs going numb. So I'm going to attach this right here. I can't believe I did that, but see, I'm human and it happens. It happens and it sucks, but it happens. And guess what? You rip it back and you finish it and then you move on. Just that simple. It's not anything to get upset over. You know what I mean? I mean, what was it? Maybe 17 minutes that I wasted? It's all right. It's no big deal. So we're going to, I'm almost done. And then I'll show you. But I'm not going to attach the rest of it until I take a break. And I will, like I said, most likely the way we're going to do this is I'm going to show you one panel at a time and get this done as quickly as possible. Chain 2. No. Chain 1. I forget how I did this. So I chain 1, I go into here, and I chain there. No. Yeah. All right. I got it. So we're going to do this corner. And I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go have a little bit of coffee. Try to take something for my pain. And I will be right back. And then we will, like I said, continue this. There we go. We're going to continue this. We'll go all the way down. And then when I'm ready to attach the second panel, well, second for you, but because you've only seen me attach one. But the next panel, which is number 4, I'll let you know. I'm just going to go to the corner right now. And there we go. All right, that didn't take too long, right? I can crochet without looking. It's just a lot faster when I look at it. Or, try to concentrate a little bit. But there we go. This is what I wanted. All right. Now, when I come back, we're going to go all the way down. I'm going to bring the other piece over here so that way I can go and start connecting it. I might bring all of them. I just have to lay them out in the way that I'm supposed to grab them and put them on. So, we will see. I will be right back. I'm going crazy. All right, guys. I am back, and it is late. But the reason why I didn't film any of it was because I had to concentrate, right? Now, I'm almost done attaching everything. And remember the one I was just doing? I went all the way around and was about to attach the next piece when I realized that I put it on backwards. So I had to take it apart all over again and redo it. So I just wanted to concentrate on it. Hold on, let's see if I can fix you a little bit. There you go. All right. I just wanted to concentrate, but this is the second to last piece. So once we do this one, and like then the piece that I just put on, that was very, very tricky, and you'll see why when I show you what it looks like, because I'm also not trying to show you too much because this is a surprise, right? And I don't really want to show too much of what it looks like until it's all done. But the piece that I just did was very, I had to concentrate and pay attention because of the way that it was attached. And like I said, you'll see why when you see the finished piece, but I'm getting really excited. I'm getting really excited because what I was envisioning is slowly coming true. And I won't know completely until I put it put it completely together and I'm able to, put it on and see what it looks like. So I have to do this one and one more. And I don't know, I believe I did tell you I had to attach a different, or maybe I didn't. We finished one more skein of the green, and this was the one that we were using for the flowers and for the squares. So we started on the other green, and this is what I have left. But this should definitely be enough to attach it and go around it at least twice, maybe. I'm still not sure. I need to attach it all together first. And maybe I'm going to attach it all first and go back to where we started, right? And once I do that, I'm going to try it on and see what I want to do before I do another round, if that makes sense. And then once we do the final round, and before we put the border on, I'll show you what it looks like. But I really am excited. And I honestly do believe that we will have both of these pieces done by tomorrow. I'm pretty confident with that. I did kind of want to get them done by today, but I think that was, again, a little wishful thinking on my part. It is already 9:45, I think. I know I will definitely, just like that one, I know I will definitely have this one completely put together before I go to sleep. See, that's what happens when these pieces start getting really, really big. They start getting to be a little bit more difficult to handle, but that's okay. I really am so excited. I can't wait to see how this looks because, again, I had it laid out on my bed. But, you know, you really can't tell something until it's really fully put together, or at least like completely attached, and then figure out how to finish it up. But if I can get this one, which I will, I'm sure I will, get this one, you know, almost done, all put together, and have, you know, at least one round of double crochets all around it before the end of the night. And that means that I will have 2 pieces that just need to be finished up, which is, you know, like not going to be hard because it's not a lot left. It's literally just the border and the trim, and then on one sleeves, because I don't think this one is getting like sleeves. And those sleeves, it's not like it's, you know, gonna take long to do those sleeves, because the other sleeves on the other one, I think took me what, I think an hour a piece, maybe, on the last cardigan that I did like that. And, you know, that's not a lot. So I'm pretty confident that I can have them both finished by tomorrow. I think having them both finished by today was wishful thinking, but now that they're both put together and all they need is finishing touches, I think we can definitely have them both finished by tomorrow. And that would be so cool. So I think that this video is going to be, you know, this weekend. It's going to go... Hold on. What did I do now? I did something. What did I do? All right. Somehow I did something wrong, so I will be right back. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I can't connect this and talk to you at the same time. So I'm going to... You think I would have learned my lesson by now, right? But I did skip one. I skipped one. I am going to go finish these last 2 pieces. Now, when I'm going all the way around, that'll be okay. You know, I will be able to talk and do that because it's just going to be straightforward, right? Just going all the way around. But when you're connecting pieces, you got to be careful because I just missed one by accident. And I had to rip all of that out. And it wasn't a lot, but, you know, still, I don't want to keep doing that. And I just realized one cluster right now has 2, but I'm not going back to fix that. Because, again, this is for me. And I'm not worried about that. It's not going to make any real difference structurally, you know what I mean? And it's not like it's on the outside where I'm going to be short a stitch. So we're just going to leave it the way it is. All right, everything should be okay now. But again, like I said, I think I need to go finish this. And when I'm done attaching them, I will come back and give you an update. Okay, so we finished connecting all of the pieces. And now I just have to go all the way and finish this off and meet up at the other end. And that's what I'm going to work on now. It is 10:15. It shouldn't take me very long though. Like I said, I got them all connected and I went all the way around. So I connected it and then I went up and I went across, and now I just have to go all the way back to here. And it is kind of long, but I don't think it'll take that long to do it. So we're just going to see how long it takes. Right now, like I said, it is 10:20. And I'm just going to keep going all the way around. And then I will try it on and decide how it is I want to finish it off. And if anything, at the bare minimum, we'll need to go around it one more time in a granny stitch before we start the border. Hey guys, it is late and I'm about to get ready for sleep. I'm in a lot of pain and frankly, I'm tired. I went around this whole thing a second time and I was going to go around a third time, but I decided not to because I would like to do at least 3 rounds of half double crochets, maybe 4, and then a row of single. And in order to do that with 3 rows, with 3 rounds of the clusters, I think it would be too wide. So I'm just going to leave it like this. This is huge. And just do 3 more rounds. Now, this is all I have left of the green right here. This was a brand new skein. I was trying to finish off the skein, but I can't. I really can't. I am very tired. My feet are numb. I need to take a break. I don't need to take a break. I need to go get ready for sleep. I need to... Sorry. I need to take something for my pain, and I need to get ready for sleep. And tomorrow, we will finish this. I was going to, start a new color, but since there's only this much left, and this is, we're doing this one my way. I'm just going to keep going the green all the way around until it ends, and then tie on the color that I'm going to finish it with. Because I'm pretty sure that even if I was to, I don't think this is going to go once all the way around, even in single crochet. And, you know, if I was to cut it off and tie on another color, this one wouldn't last the whole last round. So it doesn't make sense to save it. So we're just going to keep going until it's all done. And then tie on the next color, which will probably be this brown. And we'll see what happens. I do have half a skein, I think, of this brown left, or a little bit more or less. I don't know. But we will tie that on first and see how far that goes. Now this is a half double, so it's one in each stitch. So it's not like, you know, it shouldn't be, it should give for a while. But we will definitely be finishing this tomorrow. And hopefully we should be finishing that tomorrow. So hopefully we will have two finished projects by the end of tomorrow. And I can't wait to show you this because I think it's actually going to look really cute. But that's for tomorrow. I will see y'all in the morning, guys. Bye. Bye. Well, I'm tired. I need to go to sleep. Good night. Okay, hey guys. It is Sunday. And we are down to, you know, the last few touches on both cardigans. Now, on this well, whatever this is, I'm not sure yet. But on the mystery project and on this project. Now, this, I started doing the border, right? So this was the outline. And I started doing the border. I did the green to as far as it would go. And, ooh, I finished another skein. This is of the olive drab. So one more skein down. And let me tell you, I think I'm going to be surprised with how much yarn I've used so far. Okay, so, and then I tied on the brown, right? And this is, now it wasn't a full skein. This one was the partial skein that I had. And I decided to use this one first. So this is how much I have left. And we're just going to finish this up. And then we will tie on another skein to finish it off if we need to. I'm surprised that this actually has lasted as long as it has. The green did go very far. It actually went like, did almost half of the entire piece. And the brown, I'm going on the second round already of the brown. We just started here. And we are just going to keep going around. Like I said, this is what I have left. And I'm just going to go, before I try it on, I'm just going to go as far as it'll take me. And hopefully, it'll, you know, go almost around a second time. I mean, like, go almost around. Now, I think that I want to try it on first, put it on and see how it looks. But I think that I'm going to do one more round of the brown in half double crochets. After this round, do one more round of half double crochets and then do a round of single. Now, two things that I thought of while I was sitting here this morning working on this, right? Because I did start working on it because I wasn't, sure on how it was looking, and I wanted to, try to figure it out a little bit better. I did close it up, cinch it up on the neck a little bit because it was hanging down too much. And that's why I say, like, you really don't know how your piece is going to fall until you get the border around it and it's exactly the way it's going to be. Then it'll sit the way it's supposed to. That's why I like doing the border and the trim around the cardigans before I put the sleeves on, because then you'll know exactly where it's going to sit. And it also determines the length of your sleeves, right? Because it is going to add some inches to the cardigan or whatever piece you're making. So you should know that before you make your sleeves, right? Now, when I was doing this, I don't know whether I did get the extra skein of brown, but I honestly don't know if I should keep going with the brown or if I should finish it off with like the pale yellow. And, tie on the pale yellow to this, because I do have, I don't know if I have any more of the pale yellow. I know I don't have it here. The only yellow that I have here is this one. And I don't know if I want to have it that bright. I was also thinking, what about the gold? I don't know. I don't know what color I want to tie on next, because the next color I tie on is the color I'm going to finish it with, right? So the next color that I tie on, it's going to be probably finishing this round, and then another round plus another round of half doubles, and then a round of single. What I do want to do after I finish this skein, before I tie on the next one, I want to put it on and see what it looks like and see how it's falling. Because when the neckline was so open, and I hope that I get to the neckline again before I finish this yarn, I highly doubt it, but I did close it up a bit and round it off. So I want to see what it looks like on now, because it was falling kind of long, which isn't what I was picturing. And I was actually contemplating taking it apart and removing 2 panels, one from each side. But number one, I didn't want to do that, because if I do that, that means that I have to literally take the entire thing apart. And, or at least like almost the entire thing. I wouldn't have to go back to the beginning to remove one of the parts, like, but I would have to go past the squares that have this gold in it. And I didn't want to do that, because that would be a lot. That was a lot of work, and I'm already on the border, so that would be a lot of ripping, and I really didn't want to do that. And I know that once I get the neck portion done and tighten it up, it will sit different, right? So I had one of two choices. Either I could have ripped it back then and then, removed those two pieces, or I can just trust the process and keep going, and hopefully it'll come out the way I am seeing it in my mind. And then if I don't like it, then we'll have to probably rip it back. But we're hoping that that's not going to happen, right? Because one of the reasons why I didn't want to do that is because if I did pull it back without seeing it finished and remove those two panels, then, and it came out small, then I would be even more upset. So I rather see where it goes and how it looks. And then if I think that it's still too much and I think it'll look better with removing those two panels, and I have to rip it apart and do that, then I'm only taking it back once. But if I would have ripped it back and frogged it and redid it, and then it was too small or too short, or I didn't like it, and then I would have to redo it again, that would have pissed me off even more. So we are going to keep going, and this skein is almost done. But again, like, surprisingly enough, it is going pretty far. I honestly don't know where I am right now because this piece is so big. I think I'm reaching the back point, and I don't know if this will be enough to go all the way around, but we're going to see how far it gets us. Now, the other thing is, I was sitting here and I was looking over at the Cardi, right? And I realized something. I'm basing it off, even though it's done with granny squares, and it's a little bit different than the patchwork sweater that I did. It is still, the patchwork sweater, and the sleeves are supposed to be a different color. I don't know, because, like, it was purple and purple, right? And then it was all connected with gray, and the sleeves were in gray. But in the case of this one here, I connected it in brown. That toffee brown, like, to me it's more like a chocolate brown. But we connected it in, wait. Yeah, because this is caramel. So we connected it in the toffee brown, right? and we started doing, we did the outline. We connected it and did the outline in the toffee. I mean, in the, whatever that color is. Yeah, toffee, I believe. But I wanted the sleeves to be, the sleeves and the, wow, words just fell out of my head. The border to be in a different color. And that's when I grabbed the green, right? Or I was supposed to grab the green. And do the border in the green color. But now that I'm looking at it and I just realized something, I started the sleeve in brown. So the sleeves and the border have to be the same color. That's just the way I want it. So I'm going to have to rip that sleeve back. And decide whether I do want it in this green or if I want it in a different color. Because the green is only in the flowers, right? It's only in the flowers and in the squares. So I think that it'll be okay to use that green. But we are going to have to rip back the sleeve, which wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot. It was only like maybe 2 or 3 rounds. But yeah, the sleeves have to be the same color as the border. So if the border is going to be in green, then the sleeves are going to have to be in green. And that means we're going to have to rip that sleeve back. And now I'm wondering if instead of adding this brown once again, because this isn't going to be enough to finish the project. Should I add the brown, the dark brown? Or should I add the yellow? Maybe I should ask y'all. That might be a good idea. I might do a little short asking y'all what color I should do for what's the last color I should use to finish this up. Because I kind of didn't want to do the green again because I have so much of the green. The green is what I use to connect it and do that. So I don't want to do that. And the only thing I could think of is either adding one of these or doing the chocolate brown or toffee or whatever that's called, because to me it looks like chocolate brown. But before I do that, I really do want to finish this. And the more I think about it, I think I am going to do the sleeves and the trim in the green. Or if I had a lighter green, I don't think I have enough of a lighter green to do the sleeves. I have sage, but I don't think I have enough of that. I gotta go look. Because I think I would need at least 2 skeins, maybe a skein and a half. I'm not 100% sure. This thing is so big though, and it's so oddly shaped. Oh, okay. Now I know you're probably like excited to see what it is. And when I get like closer to it almost being done, then I'll give you a sneak peek. But I want to make sure that it's going to fall the way I want it to before I show you. Because then if I change my mind, I don't know anymore. Oh, sometimes when you think of something, it doesn't, come out the way you think it will. But I'm going to go finish this up and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. This is all I've left. So let's get this on here. And yeah, it went pretty much like, I'm guessing about halfway around. Yeah, about halfway around the whole thing. So we're going to, we're going to stop it here, and we are going to decide what other color we have to put on it. I actually need to take a break, and I need to figure out what I'm going to eat. But I think we're almost there. I believe that all we need is to finish this round. And this is like the neckline, so it's going to be like this. And I kind of wanted it to be like in the middle of the square, right? Like that. That's from the back. I don't know if I'm going to do one more decrease in the back or if I'm just going to go all the way around, right? Because we do have to go around one more time. So, because it's going to be 1, 2, 3 rounds of half double crochets and 1 round of single. That's what I think we landed on. No. 1, 2, I'm on my third, 4 rounds of half double crochets and 1 round of single. So we might decrease on this one, and then the next round of half double crochets will be regular. We'll see how it looks. But I'll show you the back. And we're going to see pretty soon. But I'm going to go take a break, and I might put up a poll. Or not a poll, but just ask. Do a little short. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll be right back. Okay, hey everybody. So I took a break. I had some lunch. And I did put up a short, asking for your opinions about what colors I should put in to finish the border of the special project. Now, I just did it a little while ago. I think the last time I checked, there was like 73 views, and I got one lovely person who suggested that I should tie on the yellow and then finish it off with the dark brown. Peggy, I love that idea. I think I might use that. I'm liking that more and more. I was only thinking about one color, and I like the idea of mixing 2 more colors in there. So I'm going to wait, but I'm going to wait a little while before I do that. See if anyone else has any other suggestions. So what I decided was I'm going to do the border on the cardigan. And I know you're probably like, what color is she using? Well, as you know, the patchwork cardigan, the body is one color or a couple of colors, right? It was 3 different purples in the first one. This one I decided to do granny squares. So in the granny squares, there's the yellow, light brown, and green. And I decided to, actually, it's this way. That's the right way, but I'm holding the hook. I don't want to let it go. So in this one, the colors are, you know, the olive drab, I think this is caramel, then the pale yellow, the varsity yellow, and I used the toffee to join it together and do the outline. And for the sleeves and the border, I was gonna do the brown, but I didn't want to do the brown. I wanted it to have the sleeves and the trim, the border, the same color, and I wanted it to be a different color than was already used, like in the other cardigan, right? So I think I have enough. What I decided, because I had like mint green, but I didn't like it too much, and I don't have a lot of this, but what I decided was the sage green. And this is like half a skein, maybe less than half a skein. I'm hoping that that will be more than enough to do the border and the trim, the outline, which is a single crochet, right? So it's going to be 3 rounds of half double crochets and then 1 round of single crochet. And then it's the sleeves. That's all that's left. But I don't want to do the sleeves until the border is finished, because it always sits differently, you know, because of the added width. And I want to make sure I do the sleeves properly. So we are going to do the border. And I'm hoping that this skein is going to be enough to do the entire border. I think it will be. But let's see. And then I have another full skein, because this definitely is not as wide as that project. It's not as big. And hopefully the skein that I have, which I think I don't know, it could be, but I don't think it's a full skein. I think there was a little bit used on it. I might be wrong. It might be a full skein, but it looks like really... Hold on, let me show you. Okay. I had this, and it was with the full skeins, because I do separate my skeins. The partial used go one place, and my full skeins are on the wall. And I don't think it was used, but maybe the label is just loose. I don't know. But anyway, this is all I have left, and I'm hoping that this will be enough for the sleeves. And it fell on the floor, because of course it did. So I'm hoping that that's going to be enough for the sleeves, and that this is going to be enough for the outside. And honestly, the reason why I started with this half skein, because I believe this will be enough for the outside. Also, because they look like they're a little bit slightly off. Like, just by just a little bit. For some reason, this screen looks just a tiny bit darker than the other one. Hold on. Okay, maybe I'm crazy and the lighting in here isn't that great, but for some reason, see, and I think you could tell on screen too, this screen looks to be just a little bit darker than this screen. Now, if you have them separate, I don't think it'll make much of a difference. But, you know, like if it's on the outside of the cardigan and then the sleeves, I don't think you're going to notice. But if you put them together, you will definitely notice, right? So that's why I'm hoping that this will be enough to do the outside. And that will be enough to do the sleeves, because number one, these are the last two of this color that I have. And number two, I can't mix them because it's going to look too off. At least to me it will. Now, like I said, I'm okay if they're separated like that. Like if this skein goes all the way around and I can get two sleeves out of that last skein and they're separated, I know it's not going to make much of a difference. You're not going to be able to notice. But if it's put together, I think you will. So let's just hope that this is enough for the border. But I'm going to go work on this. And I think I am liking it. I mean, you're not really going to be able to tell until it's like at least once all the way around. But I think it's going to look pretty. We'll see. Because I don't have another green, and I really didn't want to do it in the olive drab. I wanted something a little bit lighter. And I wanted a color that I hadn't used yet. And those were my options. Because like I said, I was going to do it with the chocolate brown. That was the idea. But since it's used on the inside of to connect the squares, I didn't want it. So I thought it would blend in too much. It wouldn't have the effect that I'm going for. So we're going to see how this screen looks. I think it's going to look nice. But we'll see. I do have another green, I think. Well, I know I do, but I don't know if that would go. I think this would be the best option for the colors that are in here, you know, to go with the brown and the olive drab. So it's 2 shades of yellow, 2 shades of brown, and 2 shades of green. But now I'm curious if I should grab that other skein and see what it looks like before I go any farther. Hold on. All right, no. No. This is the best option. So let's keep going. And I will get back to you very soon. By the way, it is 3:46. So we still have time. And you know me, normally, what did I do here? I don't know. Oh, I did something here that's not right. Okay, well, I don't know what I did right there. Anyway, I am going to work on this. And you know me, I'll put in about an hour on this before I have to take a break. Maybe an hour and a half, hoping. I doubt it. And my hands are not, working very fast. I'm just a mess. The fibromyalgia is really messing me up today. I mean, unfortunately, it's been messing me up for a while, right? But it's not as bad as it was a few months ago, but it is still bad. So I think I can get about an hour. If I can get an hour and a half of sitting here, that would be awesome. But I think at least an hour. I have a movie on, and I'm going to go watch it. I put on The Crazies. I haven't seen it in a while. I saw it a long time ago, like when it came out. But anyway, I'm going to go watch that. And I'm going to work on this. And hopefully, I can get it done. Maybe before the movie's over. Who knows? But I'll be back. Okay, so I have about an hour left in the movie. So let's see how much I can get done by the time the movie is over. Okay. Hey, everybody. All right. Now, I was doing the trim in this sage green. And I didn't like the way it looked. I also tried to do the sleeves this color, and I didn't like it at all. I ripped it all out. And yes, it looks like yarn spaghetti, and it's going to stay this way. We will figure out something to do with this. Maybe, I don't know, use it to start a cardigan. I'm not sure. That's not for right now. I just didn't like it. And I didn't like the way that it looked. Once it worked up more, and I had done it on the wrong way, so I had to rip it out anyway. But what I think I'm going to do is do the trim, at least the trim in this color. Do the border in this color. And then most likely I think what I'm going to like to do is do the sleeves in brown and then do the cuff in this color, maybe. I tried doing the sleeves in the light green and I didn't like that either. I had ripped out the sleeves completely. And I was going to, what do you call that? I was gonna do the sleeves in the sage color, and I took them out. I didn't like them. So my options are to either do them in brown or see how they look in this green. But honestly, I think it's going to look really nice if I just do it in the brown and just have the border on the cardigan like around and the cuff in the green and do the sleeves in brown. Now, let me figure this out because I have to do it a certain way so that it's on the right side of the cardigan, right? So, in order for it to be on the right side, it needs to be done a certain way. And that's the mistake I made with the sage. I wasn't paying attention, and I just started. And yeah, there you go. See, that's the right way. That should be on the outside, which it is. When I did it with the light green, I had done it the other way around. So that was facing on the inside, and that's not, it's going to look like it's wrong. And I know that most people wouldn't notice that, but I noticed it. And that's like what really convinced me to rip it back, because I was, like I said, just going to leave it and kind of like be okay with it, because it didn't look too bad just on the border. But once I noticed that it was completely the wrong way and it was going to have to be taken out anyway and redone, I just decided to just scrap it altogether, because I thought it was going to look nice, but for some reason, I didn't like the way it looked. See, now, that I like. And we're going to keep it this way. I know this is supposed to be like a version of my scrappy sweater cardigan with squares, but it's turning out to be something completely different. It really is. It's turning out to be something completely different. But I like the way it's looking, and it does still have the same feel, because again, it's not like a regular cardigan where it's one panel in the back and then two panels in the front. It is really two panels that were connected. So the feel is more or less the same, right? It's just a little bit different. And I like that one where the sleeves and the trim are a different color than the rest of the cardigan. But because of the way this one is made, and it's made differently with the sunflower squares, maybe if it was like regular squares, it would have come out a little bit closer, and we might try that. Actually, I just got an idea that we can use the sage, and instead of doing like squares like this, because this one also, I wanted it to, in order to have the feel like it's one panel, like the scrappy cardigan, it should have been the join as you go method, so that it really does feel like one flat piece of material, not like this one where it's joined. And again, this is going to be a different cardigan altogether. And what I was thinking is, to make a scrappy, this will be my sunflower cardigan, I guess. We're going to do another scrappy cardigan. But instead of doing squares like this, right, where they're all different colors, I just got an idea. Instead of, what we can do with that sage green is we can make squares like this. And I think that instead of 5 squares, we'll only do 4, because this one is kind of long. And when you do the join as you go method, it's going to make it even longer, right? So instead of 5 squares, we can do 4 squares. And that way we can do 2 squares in the sage green, 9 squares each, right? And we can do 2 squares in a different color. And figure out what color to join them with. And then do the trim in the sleeves in another color. And we'll make that out of scraps, out of scrap yarn. What color with the sage green, I'm not sure. We can also even add a new color, like a mint or something, and make it like I said, like I wanted to do this one with the join as you go method. And 4 squares aren't going to take very long. So we might do that after these 2 are done. Once we're putting together the blanket, so that way we can get rid of that yarn. And making the squares, it would just be 2 squares in that sage green, and we can figure out the rest. I don't know how much of that I will be using, but we're going to make them, 10 rounds? We'll make them 10 rounds. But they're not going to take very long because they're going to be, a solid square. So you don't have to stop to change colors. It's just going to be a solid granny square. And I think that's what we're going to do with it. And we're just going to pivot. And that's, not what I wanted to do. Because I want to finish these projects. Now, I think it took me about an hour to do the whole trim. And I think the sleeves are going to also take me about an hour. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep doing as much as I can. It is almost 9 o'clock, I think. But I will let you know in the morning, or maybe before I go to sleep. I don't know. But I'm going to try and get this done as quickly as I can. So I'm going to go work on this. Hopefully it won't take me very long. I'm on the bottom. So I'm doing about, I believe it's 4 rounds of, and now I gotta see. I don't know. It's probably going to be around 4 rounds of half double crochet. Hold on. So 2, 3, 2, 3 would be in this direction, 4 would be in the opposite direction, and then the single crochet. So 4 rounds of half double crochet and 1 round of single. Let's see how long it's going to take us to do that. It is 9 o'clock, or to be precise, it is 8:55. I'm going to go work on this, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, good morning. Okay, I did not film anything after this last clip, which I don't even know what it was. But that's going to be the end of this video. Now, what did we finish? I'm just so disappointed because, again, I had to frog. And I think like not wasted because I learned that it didn't look good, but I think like 2 or 3 hours worth of work on the cardigan, you know, but it is what it is, right? It's okay because I like the way it's looking now. We did add the green on the trim, and I think I like it better. And we are doing the sleeves in the brown. That's how much of the yarn I had left. So this is what, I don't know if you remember, was originally on here. And that's when I decided to do the sleeves in a different color. And I didn't like the way it looked. And that happens, right? It happens. You think it's going to go one way, and when you add that color, it doesn't look right. So I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the light green. It didn't match. It was off. And I didn't really like it. So I changed it to this green, which was a little darker than what I wanted, but I think it's going to look really, really pretty. And it goes with the overall theme of this. And once again, this was supposed to be one thing and it ended up being something else. But that's okay. No problem. I like the way it came out. It looks super cute. And we are going to finish these sleeves up today. And hopefully, if nothing else gets in the way, we will be done with these 2 projects today. Now, the special project, like you know, I didn't film any more of it because I had asked what colors you thought I should use. And I got a few people who, you know, gave me their opinions, and I appreciate them. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of each. I think I decided that I'm going to use 2 colors as per, I think it was Peggy's suggestion, but I am going to use a different color. You'll see. This whole thing is going to be a surprise, but just so you like get a little idea like what the colors look like, you know. And so because of this in the back, I think that I want to put some of that gold in the trim, in the border, so that it kind of like feels more tied in. And that's what we're going to do. But we are going to finish it off with a different color because I do need 5 rounds of the border. and of half double crochet, and we are only on 1, 2, 3, the third. We are on the third round, so we need 2 more rounds. Well, finish this one because the brown finished. Yeah, because 1, 2, 3. I don't know where it finished. It's somewhere in this big old mess. But I ran out of the brown of the, I believe this is caramel, caramel, I don't know. Same difference. Anyway, I ran out of this caramel color, so I did end up tying on the gold. And I think it'll just look really nice to, like I said, tie in the back. And then I believe I'm going to finish it off with the toffee. And that would be probably like a single crochet all the way around. But we only have a few more, let's see, 3, 4, 5. We only have 3 more rounds to go. 2 of half double crochets and 1 of single. So this will definitely be finished by today. And on the cardigan, all we have to do is the sleeves. That's it. Everything else is finished. The only thing we have to do is the sleeves. And these sleeves don't take me very long. And we already have all the colors picked out. And so the rest of it is going to be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So we should be okay. And again, this came out to be something completely different than what I wanted because of this. This makes it all separate. It's not what I wanted. But we are going to get that. You're going to see that vision soon. But anyway, this is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see how it turns out, you're going to have to come back and see the next video. But that is what I made this weekend. I was able to finish almost complete both items. And who knows what we'll do next. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking around. If you haven't subscribed yet and you like watching me, you know, go crazy and rip things apart. And, you know, having things change, you know, in the middle of doing them, then you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button. And you're always welcome to leave a comment. Thank you so much for stopping by. And, you know, I'll see y'all in the next one. Keep creating, guys. That's the most important part. Keep creating. I'll see y'all later. Oh, one more thing. And if you want, you can always share pictures of what you make on my community page. I would love to see it. Love to see it. So you guys have a great day, okay? Bye, guys.